Happy New Year, everyone. Once again, seamless transitions. Let me know, guys. I just was reading about... That's that. Just reading about the stream being choppy. Let me know if that's still the case. God, you know, I thought I had loads of time. Next thing I look up and there we go. It's like 2 minutes to 5. Do me a favor, guys. Video's choppy. I'm not sure what I can do. It's a little laggy. Let me check something. I don't know why it would be. Anyway, Happy New Year. Okay. Let me see if there's anything I can do at this end to remedy that. Are you the only one having issues with a light touch? I very much doubt it. Those generals are, they're black belt stuff. Guys, try and... The audio is fine. If the audio was choppy, it'd be a different story. Super choppy, dropped frames. I'm not doing anything different to what I normally do. and I'm super afraid to stop the stream, because you know how that works. If I stop it, I have to set up a whole new stream. I'm just checking the computer to make sure nothing's running that could be creating lagginess. I've been doing a lot of downloading of older streams. I'm just making sure nothing's running in the background. More like computers throttling. I hear you. Bit of a stream delay. I just don't see anything else. I've got nothing open on my computer. Sorry guys. Look, what happened to getting off to a quick start with 2025? What a way to start, huh? Okay. Bit choppy but doable here. Look, let's keep going. Report back as we go. Maybe it will resolve itself. There is always the chance. I'm just closing any additional windows. As I said, I've got nothing open at this end that I can imagine that would be causing this issue. It's one of those things. Restart the computer. Let's go for next stream. Maybe. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if it resolves itself. If it doesn't resolve itself, maybe we'll look at that. But I'd sooner get drawing. I'm on 21-day challenge. No complaining. Nice. I need to do this. I need to do the yeah, no whining. Love the model today and the poses. You know what? We've drawn this young lady a few times, and a new set came out and some new poses, so I figured she'd be good to go. No refunds, Rick. You break it, you buy it. Okay, there's nothing else I can do at this end. Let's draw and let's report back after the first pose and see if we've still got lagging issues. I think, as Lulu said, it's almost more important that the audio isn't lagging. So if that's the case, then I think we can keep moving forward. I apologize, guys. Once again, there's absolutely nothing on my end that I'm seeing a reason for it. All right, let's draw. All right. We've got a few poses. They're like number 3 and 4. I feel like, or number 2, 3, and 4 are kind of like stars of the show. So let's draw number 1 and see how we go. Probably going to aim for about a 15 on this one. So let's see how it goes. Hope everyone had a fantastic break. We only were gone one. We only skipped 1 week, didn't we? That's not like, you know, it's not been that major. Music's a bit loud. All right, Patrick. Tell me if that's any better. It's okay. Don't apologize if it's too loud. You see, I don't hear the mix. I hear it even through my headphones. It doesn't. Guys, look, it's completely fine. I'm happy to turn it down. I wish I could have all of that stuff dialed in before I get online. The reality is, I can't hear the mix. I can't get an accurate read of the mix before I get live. I'm going to draw off the older ones because I put off installing a virtual phone card. I have No idea what any of that means, Lulu, but okay. Sound good now. All right, excellent. Good stuff. Look at the way, let's talk about some drawing for a second, because I think this is super important with profile poses, side poses. It's what profile means. Look at the way the hips push back. Like if we look at the angles, we're going from what is essentially coming in this direction, especially on females. This tends to be far less pronounced on males. And also I think that this model, she's really accentuating this idea. But it's a great way to look for dynamics when we're working with a profile view, is to look at this relationship between the upper and the lower torso and how this is pushing back. Yeah, I hope everyone had a lovely break and a nice new year. I had a very boring new year. Well, not boring. It was enjoyable for me, but I literally just sat on the couch watching a chess tournament of all things. But it was enjoyable. So I hope you guys all had a good time too. I am really excited about the new year. I know that there's always going to be things for us to be concerned about, or reservations about, but overall I'm optimistic for the new year, because I think that these things are largely what we make of them and how we decide to react to whatever might be going on. So I've decided I'm going to try and react as positively as I can to things, regardless of whether I'm completely on board with what might be going on in the world, because all we can do is control what's right in front of us, right? Luke is going to be sitting about there. But yeah, I've been thinking a lot about excuse me, I'm not big on resolutions, New Year's resolutions. I'm very much one of these in the camp of, if I decide I'm gonna make a commitment to, say, go exercise more or go to the gym more, I'll try and be proactive with that before the new year, because I almost feel like resolutions I make on the new year itself are the ones that tend to fail the fastest. Not that we shouldn't necessarily make them, but I've got lots of, I'm very excited and optimistic about 25. I want it to be a good year. 24 had its ups and downs, so I'm rooting for 25. That was the tournament where Carlson got DQ'd from. Yeah, there was a lot of controversy with the Rapid and Blitz this year, TK. From the gene scandal through to what is now being called match fixing. So yeah, it was a fun journey to ride on. Enjoyed the hell out of it. And I think it was very interesting. Anyway, for those that aren't chess nerds, I won't continue talking about it, because nothing will alienate a crowd like talking about chess when you're not into it. Yeah. It's my birthday on 1/1. Happy birthday. You went to the gym to celebrate. Congratulations, Margot, and good for you, and good for you going to the gym. Richard, did you wear jeans while you watched? That was funny, wasn't it? You know what? The FIDE, the governing organisation of for chess, they really do need to get their acts together in more ways than one. I think they are very largely to blame for all of the nonsense that went down at that event. Rib cage coming to, you can see the arch of the rib cage. It's right about here, coming down this way. And we've got this other arm kind of back here. It's kind of almost in silhouette. Now, this is actually, you know, I talk about sometimes about moving things slightly to help the pose read better. For those of you who have access to the reference, look at the way we can just see her thumb basically coming out here, right? Sitting right there. I think that's super awkward. I don't think it reads well. So we can do one of two things. The easy thing is obviously to remove it entirely. But in the interest of doing something a little better than that, let's move the hand forward a little. Right. Bring it to here. That will obviously pull this forward too, probably to about here. It's just going to be a bit more interesting. Could have gone further forward. You do run the risk of that looking like a hand coming out of her stomach, but let's go with it. You know, it is what it is. Let me know. I'm too careless for chess. I set myself to draw 365 portraits this year. It's a resolution. Jose, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's really good news. I am doing, in the interest of talking about resolutions, New Year's resolutions, I have set myself a couple of little goals. One is, as we talked about actually before the Christmas break, one is to paint more, which has been going a bit hit and miss, but I'm painting. And the other is to do more portraiture, which I tend to shy away from. I don't really have much of a good reason of why I do tend to shy away from it. I think it's because I don't enjoy it that much. But I talk about being comfortable being uncomfortable. And I'm going to try and do just that with both painting and portraiture. And we talked about painting on the stream, so that is very much something I'd like to do. Just have to, just give me a minute. Let's get comfortable with the new year, and we'll get into that. And I'm too careless for chess too, Jose, but it doesn't stop me from winning and for the very large part losing. Yeah, one a day. That's right, Heather. That's a hell of a commitment. Well, we're on what? We're on day 2. Have you done your second one for today, Jose? I'm gonna hold you to it, by the way, Jose. I'm gonna be checking in with you. All right. So when I see you on the stream, don't think I'll forget your name, and that you made this commitment very, very publicly. So I see you stop not being in the chat, I'll know why. Because you're either painting portraits or you're not painting portraits. All right. My guess, because portraits are difficult AF. If you're referring to myself, Lulu. So here's the thing. Working in animation, I have done my fair share of facial close-ups, which is a form of portraiture. But for a number of reasons, I just stay away from it. For one reason is because I personally find portraiture time-consuming. But primarily because I don't practice it very much. So I find it much more time-consuming than figurative art. You know, this is all really nonsense. I just need to practice more. All of these problems will go away. But it's not like I've done my fair share of mileage with faces, etc. I've got a few ideas, but I just don't consider myself to be very good at it. Anyway. Just gonna pull this knee forward a bit here. Oh, really? 2 out of 2, like just like that? Okay. So with tensification, we have the iliotibial tract come down. Congrats, Jose Espinoza, says Canvas Dancer. Don't congratulate him on day 2, Canvas. With all due respect, let's congratulate him on day 365 or 364 if we want to be a bit, you know. Is the stream a bit laggy? The stream is a bit laggy apparently. I do not particularly want to restart the entire stream because it won't come back here, it'll be something else and blah 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 blah. So apparently the audio is okay. If the audio is okay, we're going to keep moving forward. And hopefully the stream will not be laggy next time. But yes, apologies for any lagginess. I think it would have been probably a really good idea for me to restart the computer before the stream, considering what I was doing today and all the editing I've been doing and everything else. Anyway, here we are. Richard, try the 5.6mm charcoal clutch pencil. You know, we talked about that, didn't we? I want to make a mental note to my... Oh, sorry. I'm going to write that down right now. .6mm charcoal lead. Look at that. Lenore makes one. All right, I'm bookmarking that. I will check that out after the stream. Yeah, nice one. Interesting. Would you even need a holder for that stuff? I guess you probably would. I feel like you could just hold it. Thanks, Chad. Checks in the mail, dude. Lag, not worrisome. Good. Yeah, come on, Jose. You can't go throwing out big statements like that, and then you know you got to post them. You got to post. Here's the thing. In all seriousness, I think it's a great challenge to set yourself. 365 portraits, but I would also, if I may, I would like to throw something out there. My concern with a challenge to yourself like that, unless you are literally just absolutely hell-bent and committed to it, is all I'm going to say is this: try and go for quality over quantity. Let's leave it there. Thanks, Chad. Appreciate it, man. Triangular chassis for the lead. Interesting. Is that comfortable? Yeah. Huh. Okay. I'll take your word for it, Lily. We've spent too long on this pose. We're already at minute 20. Not really liking what I've done with it. Very, very keen to abandon this one and move on. So maybe I'll do just that. Yeah, and moving that arm was an absolute mistake. Moving the arm wasn't a mistake. Where I put this was, good lord. See, that's what happens when you blindly copy and you don't think. There we go. That's better. Still don't like it. Anyway, I think we'll move on. Let's get a couple of little core shadows in here, just so we can get our money's worth. Stick peddler. All right. Yeah. Lame drawing. Ah, welcome to 2025. I've actually been drawing the last couple of days. I was even drawing about an hour ago before the stream. One of the things that did not help with me being on time for the stream, actually, because it pushed everything. And they were, frankly, far more successful. Anyway, is what it is. Let's move on. Let's put this pose behind us. Which is not going to help. It's not going to bode well for the next pose, considering how much harder this next pose is. Yikes. Yeah, good. No better way to get rid of some rust here, James. Guys, wait, just give me 1 second here. I need to turn off the heater, otherwise I'm gonna die. So Thomas is basically saying about sharpening these pencils. So Thomas, here's my piece of advice. Now you could use an X-Acto knife. You could use a scalpel like this. Here, just going to change camera angles for 1 second. So what you're going to do, Thomas, is you're going to go around gently. You're not going to be you're not whittling a stick, right? You're going to go around gently, and you're just going to go around. In fact, let me do it on one of these that's already broken. I'm not going to sharpen the whole pencil. I just want to show you though what I mean. You're going to go around, and you're just going to rotate. You see what I'm doing here? Right? And you see the way I'm not even revealing that much with each turn. Being nice and gentle with it. There, now we're getting the first bit of our charcoal. Then I'm really ginger with this. You see, just like you'll almost feel you'll feel the gum. There's like a glue or a gum that they use that's between the shaft of the wood and the actual charcoal itself. But I go in, I'm like, just very, very delicately all the way around. Right? Keep doing this. Well, here, let me just, but not just for Thomas's sake, but for anyone else that might find this useful. Okay, so now I've got I would actually, if I was just sitting here on my own, I'd probably massage this a bit further and maybe even just reveal a tiny bit more, but not much more. That would be like the maximum, right? Then I go in with, in this case, an old nail file, all right? What's a good way for the camera here? Because we've got dark on dark crime. But what I'm doing is I'm going to start sanding, and I'm rotating the pencil constantly. Right? I'm just very, very gently rotating. Maybe you can see from the writing. Going all the way around, and then I check it. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and I'm rotating, rotating, rotating. Oh, might even turn that over, get some fresh. And I just basically could just keep doing this for like a minute or so until I get a point that I'm satisfied with. This isn't perfect, but it's good enough for the demo. Oh, hold on. I hate doing this, but I'm interested in moving forward with our lives. And then I just wipe off the excess. And now I have a pencil that's ready to go. Right? That's how you sharpen these pencils. It's a bit of a faff, not gonna lie, but it's the only way. Okay? Hope that helps. So what I do is I tend to wait till I do several pencils at a time, and I just go zen with it, and you know, just watch something on YouTube or something and just sharpen. And you know, to do 5 or 6 pencils before a session is usually a good idea. It will take 15 minutes or so. Definitely worth doing. I just use duct tape and an angle grinder. You know what? Check this out. Hold on a second. So this is something I am actually going to be incorporating into my pencil sharpening process. I saw this about 6 months ago, and I kind of jokingly said to my wife, "Oh, you know, what a great little thing! I could sharpen my pencils with that." So yeah, so my daughter bought this for me for Christmas. It is just as it looks, a tiny little belt sander, and you can actually attach a grinder right onto this side here. But point being is, you could totally, you could get your fine point with this. The thing is, I just need a space for it. I don't mind making a lot of sharp ones. So there you go. So not quite an angle grinder, but not a mini belt grinder. Yeah, exactly. Isn't that great? It was only like, I think like in about $35, $40, something like that. But yeah, when I saw it, I'm just like, as I said, I was kind of like half joking when I said it to my wife, but joking, not joking, you know what I mean? All right, let me reset the clock. Let's go. Tough pose, this. We are obviously, for those of you who are drawing along, we are looking down on our subject. Aces is about here and here. Obliques are sitting here, right? That much we can see quite clearly. The oblique sitting there. Same on this side. It's kind of coming around this way. But we can, once again we're looking down, we can actually see like the neck is sitting about here, right? And the clavicles back this way. And even from this angle, this leg is actually kind of coming towards us, you know, kind of coming towards the camera. We've got some very subtle shortening in there. Look at the way that this rectus femoris and tensor fasciae latae sitting where the aces are kind of sitting in here and coming down this way. And then on the inside, thigh coming out this way, but then coming towards us. That thing will spew charcoal dust everywhere. Well, I'm thinking of setting up in the garage, in the garage. At Lulu. Yeah. Well, you see, the thing is, I only did it once, but I used a Dremel with one of the grinding discs on it to sharpen the pencils, and it worked beautifully. But the takeaway from it was, yeah, charcoal dust was an issue, obviously, and an outdoor or garage space is really required. I did think about setting up a little kind of isolation box for it with a vent, you know, with a just a vacuum type thing on it. Seems like a lot of work, but I tell you, the charcoal sanding part of the process for the pencils is really the most time-consuming part of the whole thing. And it's the part that needs a life hack. So anyway, we'll see. I think this grinder could be good. This belt sander. So that foot is going away from us, something like that. I take it you don't bother with pencil sharpeners. I'm guessing they probably wouldn't work with charcoal. No, they don't, Thomas. In saying that, while we're doing show and tell, hold on a second, because I do think this is worth seeing. I do have this thing. And the nice thing about this is you can have it to sharpen for long nib. Okay, so let's just, in the interest of the experiment, here's the broken pencil. So I have this set up for long. This is going to be noisy. Now, you see it's got it to this point. This is probably as far as I would take it. Here, let me show you on the close-up. You see, it does a lovely job. But I wouldn't go any... Then I would switch to the blade. But I honestly don't use it. I should use it more. It's quite effective. Obviously, it's got, you know, it's rechargeable in that. If I was working with graphite, I think I'd probably be using this thing quite a lot. The reason I bought this particular one was because it does either the short, regular pencil sharpener type of sharpen, or it does this long kind of effect. So there is a place for that. We're not ruling it out completely. I would also say though, if you've got any breakages in your charcoal, you'll sharpen through the whole pencil trying to find a spot. You know what I mean? So there you go. This leg is sitting. So yeah, as you can see, I've looked for solutions. I have looked and tried to find things that will make life easier. But generally the charcoal pencils tend to be too delicate for those types of machines. And I did buy that one specifically because in the reviews it said it worked for charcoal pencils. Oh, camera angle. Sorry guys about that. Okay. You have a similar on canvas, yeah. Good for colored pencils. Goes super sharp and long. Gotta be careful. Yeah, you know, like with a pencil that was a little bit more robust than a charcoal pencil, I think that it's a great sharpener, you know, all in all. There is a little part of me that likes the old school kind of approach with a blade though too. So our model is sitting on a box which I'm going to draw in because it will help sell the perspective of this whole endeavor. Something like that. There we go. Sharpen them inside a Tesla truck. That's one use for a Tesla truck, I guess. Probably a very decent use for one. But that would mean getting inside a Tesla truck, and I don't get things. So the abdominals here. Which is really more subtle on art subject, but I'm just suggesting it so I know where it is. Okay, so her elbow is sitting just about here, right? Forearm coming down. Something like that. And this other elbow is sitting about here. Notice we have stars next to our names. Do we shine? Rick, have you literally only just noticed that? You've had a star next to your name for about 2 years, I think. All members have a star next to their name. I believe there are helix sharpeners for long names, but don't know if charcoal could behave nicely. This is the problem. Jose, is these sharpeners generally just tend to be so aggressive, you know, or at least for the delicate nature of the charcoal. So this is kind of where the eyebrow eyeline is here. Nose. Tricky angle for the head. The pectoral sitting about here, just kind of refining some of these measurements. Breast is sitting about there. Give or take. Suggesting a little bit of the anatomy very subtly there. Tricky. Yeah, it's funny, when I was picking these poses, I did think about just picking some super simple poses because thinking we would all be a little rusty. But of course, no, God forbid. All right, I've got the worst pose ever. It's a tough one, all right. Canvas loves it, so there you go. You just can't please everyone. All right, let's get into some business here. It is a very tough pose. Is the stream still choppy, guys? Can someone tell me, has it calmed down at all, or are you still dealing with choppiness and you're just living with it? If someone can give me a heads up, I'd appreciate it. Current music sounds like a dapper man with a curly stash and monocle. I had to frame it, find the horizon line. Well, the horizon line is about... Oh, it's way up there. It's halfway up my wall. So yeah, I wouldn't even attempt to try and find the horizon line personally, but fair dues to you, Jose. Some very interesting shapes though, nonetheless, right? Sartorius, we can really kind of get a good sense for it, even though it's super subtle, right? It's kind of coming up this way, obviously meeting up with our aces up here. But once again, it's a great mechanism for helping us bring clarity to what it is that we're doing. By the way, I was on Discord this afternoon, just kind of before the stream. Thank you to all of you that keep the lights on over there. I don't go on there nearly enough, and I'm going to make, okay, there's a New Year's resolution, to make more of an effort to be more active on the Discord channel. But it's just lovely to see the conversations and the dialogue that goes back and forth between you folks, and I just really, it's a lovely thing. So thank you for all of those of you who contribute to the discourse over there. Constantaneous, as I have the lead clutch holder, so much to hold 5.6 leads. Yeah, I'm gonna pick one up. To be fair, the stream is much more fun than Discord. Yeah, but you know what? Yes, yeah, I get that, but you know, I think there's a place for the Discord. And I think it's well, look, Rick, you're one of the chief contributors over there, and I really appreciate the efforts, really. All right, I think we're going to put a little bit of tone onto this to try and help describe form. The lighting on the model is going to be really tricky to emulate. I'm thinking I'm going to ignore the light source coming from over her right. But it's going to mean a little bit of pushing and pulling. Let's have a look here. Let's give it a go. This will either help, or I'm literally about to destroy the drawing in real time. So it could go either way, guys. It could go either way. So we'll keep the core shadows and the basically we'll keep the light that seems to help, and we'll lose the light that doesn't. But I'm not sure I have a clear idea in my mind of just how this should all look. So yeah, look, this could be a disaster. Anyway, it's all a bit of fun, right? Obviously, we have even the shading on the box to consider. So yeah, it's 5.6 or death t-shirts. Yeah, I need to try them. Rick says, I'm leaving Facebook and Instagram and protest January 20. So, and protest January 20, you're going to have to be clearer. So I'll be leaning on the Discord even more, sitting here drawing. Okay, well, leaving Facebook and Instagram is, I completely get behind that, Rick. Good. Sitting here drawing stuff and not showing to anybody is just pathetic. I actually think it's the most honest statement you could make. It's sitting and drawing and showing no one. That I respect. I think I respect that the most. I think we should all try it. I've been posting very little. Kind of in the spirit of that idea to some degree. Plus, I just don't want to give Instagram the freebie. But then it's always kind of like it's a tough one, because, you know, on the one hand, at least for myself, I need to engage with people. On the other hand, I don't want to post my stuff on Instagram and Facebook because I think that it diminishes its value. So it's a constant kind of dilemma. Anyway, we have the stream, we have Discord, as you said. We'll figure it out. Yeah, something like that, right? Like, I'm not sure I've completely pulled it off, but at least I've got rid of one of the light sources and hopefully, at least to some small degree, help the statement in the big picture in doing that. All right, where are we at? 29 minutes. I think we'll just hit this sucker with a little bit of kneaded eraser here and there to pull out a little bit of light, and we will call it I love the music. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it, Cookie? Can't take credit for it, but I did choose it, so I'll take partial credit. Something I'm planning to try is using a true filter of some sort. I don't know what that is, Amos. To not give Insta a freebie. Well, this is interesting. I don't know what a true filter is. Facebook question mark. What about head tone? Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like an actual camera filter of magnifying glass. Alright, cool. Brahms Vivaldi. Well, the track playing right now is called Matters of the Heart by someone called Ava Hummingbird. I'm guessing not their real name. And it's on Epidemic Sound if you're interested. You'll probably find it. Alright, let's give this thing a real quick. There you go, Margot. She's using Shazam. Nice. That was a tough one, guys. I'm just going to leave it there. It's enough. It's enough energy on this pose. Also, just not convinced I'm going to get much more, suck much more life out of it. It is what it is. A wooden back scratcher be used as an art instrument? I don't know, but you know what you can use it for? You could use it against a canvas for painting. I saw someone, quite famous painter, I forget who it was using a back scratcher as a, it's a rest for their hand. Alright guys, we are going into a relatively straightforward pose relative to the last one, and then the pose after that, well, I'm jumping ahead a little bit. It's kind of scaring the hell out of me, especially after that last one that we just did. I may end up skipping pose number 4. Still leave us with 2 to do, which are a bit more straightforward. I feel like we've got to work out our foreshortening workout today with that last one. I'm not sure I'm going to have the mental bandwidth to do 2 of them. Anyway, let's move on to the next pose. Just need to check my pencil situation. Okay. Richard, can you draw a fantasy figure once? I'd love to see that. Please elaborate, Cookie, what you mean by a fantasy figure. I'm curious. Give me an example of what you mean. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Okay, Constantaneous, have you let an AI take over your typing? These feel like AI kind of questions. Is mayonnaise an instrument? I don't even know how to respond to that in any meaningful way. Animation question mark. It's too late now, but would perspective lines have helped on the last pose? I don't. Here's the thing, Rick. I think we kind of used perspective lines by drawing in the box. That would be my answer to that, right? The box that she was sitting on, which we placed in relatively early in proceedings, really helped ground her, and it kind of gave a suggestion of the perspective. So in the spirit of that, I would say yes, perspective lines would help. Beyond that, it's, you know, I don't know. I'm just seeing more comments coming up about ketchup now, and Constantaneous is in the source. I don't know what's going on. I feel like everyone's gone crazy. A fantasy figure like an elf girl with large ears and other large things. Oh, we could put larger ears or pointy ears on a figure. That, I guess, like, if that's what you mean. Richard, some kind of Marvel Comics hero or villain, or a Walt Disney style skeleton. Okay, Walt Disney style skeleton would be cool. Well, we could try doing like a Marvel-y type. We could try doing something like that. Yeah, I'd need to think about it. The thing is, right, it's an interesting thing because, thank you, Parksy boy, nice name. I'm very glad you could find us. Here's the thing with drawing monsters. It's interesting because I've actually got I've had for years some very kind of different thoughts about how, for example, how the Hulk should be drawn. Because in my mind, the Hulk, given that he is a mutation, the Hulk should not just be bodybuilder-esque in his proportions. Because I think that different muscles could potentially mutate at different rates and at different speeds. And I think that the Hulk should, in actual fact, in my opinion, the perfect, well, good version of the Hulk would be far more grotesque, far more distorted. And I don't mean just bigger and bigger. I mean in my opinion, in a more interesting way. And I've thought about that a lot. I've thought about it a lot. Never actually tried drawing what I think that might look like. But I've never liked the idea that the Hulk is just a bodybuilder or a super muscular, very evenly proportioned figure. That to me, it's the ultimate in boring as far as what the Hulk could be. The Hulk could be so. The Hulk could be so much more interesting from a design language point of view, and it's such a missed opportunity, in my opinion. But there you go. What pose do we select today? Well, I'm sorry. Let's get back to the drawing. I'm going to do pose number 3, Heather. So I'm sticking to the script for right now, but I'm probably not going to draw pose number 4. I dig Hulk not having a neck. Where we're going, we won't need a neck. Yeah, but it could be so much better. The mayonnaise thing is Patrick Starr when he asked Squidward in music recital. Okay, fair enough. I did not know. I do know who Patrick Starr is. He's a great author. It was never Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was a bodybuilder called Lou Ferrigno, Constantaneous. Lou doesn't get enough respect in my opinion. I think Lou was a great bodybuilder. And look, I think that Lou did a great job of being the Hulk. Don't get me wrong. It's certainly not throwing shade on Lou. I just think the Hulk should be mutated. You know, it could be mutated in a far more interesting way. Actually, the sacrum's a little bit lower. Once again, we're looking down on our subject, and so there is distortion to where things feel like they are in space. If that makes sense. Like everything is kind of going in this direction. I know, Lulu. That was a joke. I was being sarcastic. I know who Patrick is. Pretty sure my youngest daughter has a tattoo of Patrick somewhere, I think. God help me. Yeah, there you go. Okay, ribcage. Easiest coming down like so. Scapula. So in here and here. So deltoid is about there, coming down. The reason I need to know that now is my knee is about here. At what point should you start to experiment with exaggerating proportions? I assume it's kind of pointless to exaggerate anatomy without having a strong understanding of the basic form. Not necessarily, Thomas. You could make an argument that in your practice of pushing proportion, it could help give more clarity onto what is correct proportion, especially if it's a deliberate act, right? I think anything done in a deliberate way with intent, then it's not too soon. You know, I would be, you know, it kind of depends where you are on your journey. If you're really struggling with regular proportion, you might want to nail that, or at least get a good sense for it. But you might find if you're struggling with it, that doing something like that will actually help you understand it. I just wouldn't devote all my time to it, but you know, if it's something that you enjoy and you find it an interesting practice, go for it. There's no right and wrong way. Okay, so oblique coming up this way, meeting up with the rib cage, which is meeting up with the scapula, which is meeting up with the deltoid, which is sitting in there. Something. This knee is here, right? But boom, maybe a tiny bit lower, about there, to hit the relationship to that. And if we create an arc across the form, this knee sitting about here. Something like that. Playlist asks Depression Adam. It's just a playlist I've created of music from Epidemic Sound, which is one of the websites you can use for music that's licensed on YouTube. You know what I mean? Is sarcasm an instrument? Okay, we're just going deep, aren't we? Hulk is at least 9 foot tall and weighs as much as a tank. Look, maybe he is in the lore. I just think he could be more interestingly designed. Sarcasm flew over my head as it sometimes does. That's fine. Assume if you're not sure that I'm being sarcastic. How is your art going, guys? Last year I drew about 300 portraits and improved a lot. Fantastic. Good for you. Hulk smash General's charcoal. Thank you so much, Rick. Much appreciated, buddy. These little rocks in General's pencils are really annoying as hell. Got one on each side. How horrible. I'm so sorry, Mila. It's one of the reasons I'm not actively recommending Generals. Their quality's very hit and miss. I think if you're going to go with Generals these days, you want to try the Primo. But I'm not in the business of recommending pencils. Especially, I used to, but until Generals get their act together with the quality, I can't in good conscience recommend their stuff. Or if they want to pay me, then I'll recommend anything. With a straight face too. You watch me. Okay, that'll do. It's enough to get me in the ballpark. Actually, we're kind of getting there. So, time to draw just a little bit of the trapezius. Once again, I can't really see it, but it's going to help just fill in some of this space and tie things together. So just a very subtle suggestion of it. Same with latissimus. Latissimus will be coming in about here, right? Wrapping around this way. Same on this side. Can't see it on the reference at all. Know it to be there, and it's just going to help help bring clarity. .6 doesn't have rocks in it. It's pre-blended and compressed with the power of 1,000 dying suns. I got a feeling that Lulu is being actively paid to promote the new stuff. Primo, yeah, but by Generals, they're black pencils, Mila. I'm still waiting for Generals to sponsor you. Yeah, me both, Jose. And I'm only partly joking. For the amount of business I've sent General's way, they absolutely should be sponsoring this stream. But honestly, and I mean this in all seriousness, they need to get their quality control back together. I don't know what's happened to them over the last few years. Lovely. Oh, look at the shape of that ponytail. How interesting. It really is. Lovely thing. How are we going to represent this? Let's see. Do for now. Maybe we can give that slightly more love in a minute. To vertebra or not to vertebra? That is the question. My knee-jerk reaction is to not vertebra. But in saying that, let's actually see when we get to light and tone. It's certainly not at this stage, but maybe at the light and tone stage there might be an opportunity to slightly suggest it. Let's see. But good question. Okay, so let's work this up this side from the oblique to start with. Oblique sitting in there, coming into the transition there of the rib cage, but then look at that latissimus. Yeah. In there. Tricep. Forget what I was going to say, doesn't it? Right. Forearm. These are always fun types of poses, crouching poses. So I'm enjoying this one. I'm actually drawing with 4B today, and it's very, also almost identical to the 6B, honestly. Yeah, after the last stream, just before Christmas, I was going through all my pencils because my pencil situation was a little bit dire, and I found a box of old 4Bs, which I'd kind of abandoned just because I was on the 6B you know, thing. And I went through these 4Bs, and there's a bunch of them that are really nice. And they're the old school quality. So that's what I'm actually using, but you wouldn't know they're not the 6Bs. Cool. All right, we're getting there. Where are we at time-wise? 16 minutes. Do me a favour, will you, Lulu? Oh, Coronor. What did I get here? I'm looking at the Coronor here. I'm guessing they're the same ones. Gioconda. Oh yeah, okay, so we're on the same page. Tina, last post is A+. I agree, they are being fun. Interesting without resorting to cheesecake or warrior princess. Oh, hold my beer. The last two poses are completely cheesecake warrior princess. But we try to mix it up a little. Nice. Oh, need to go back to my reference. I'll just draw without it. Yeah, and the pose that where I think I pretty much decided we're going to skip was also a really lovely pose in the spirit of these. I just don't have... One thing I've learned about myself is I usually have about the mental bandwidth per stream for one really complex pose. And that last pose kind of took the mental bandwidth, so to speak. But we'll come back to these others, you know? They're not going anywhere. We've got a whole brand new year ahead of us, guys and girls. I hope you're going to be able to join me for some of these streams and have a bit of fun, have a bit of a laugh. What is 4 days from now? Sorry, I need to think. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Monday's the 6th, right? Is that correct? I may do a quick stream on the 6th if it's Monday. Why would you be doing a stream on Monday, I hear you ask? And I'll still do Thursday. Yeah, because it's Inauguration Day, and if I can provide solace for even one person on the 6th, then that's what I'll try to do. So yeah, well, let's do a stream on the 6th. All right, done. And I would like to think about something other than the things that will be going on that day, so it'll be a good distraction for me too. Although I understand if some of you will not join me on that day, it's fair enough. But you know, we talk about doing positive things in the world. Well, this seems like it'd be a positive thing. Shashank Rao. Shashank, welcome. I've been experimenting with different leads myself. Find 4B works well for me too. It's easier to sharpen with a blade without breaking. Yeah, fair enough. We'll try to remember, no promises. I enjoy a little beefy now and then. Oh. Inauguration Day is the 20th. I thought it was the 6th. The 20th? Oh, I just assumed it was the 6th because of that infamous day. Oh, that was... Okay, why am I getting confused? Was it not the 6th at one point? Was that not Inauguration Day, or was that Transfer of Power Day? Okay. The 20th is also a Monday. Well, hell. Maybe we'll do one on both of those days. I'm feeling generous. That's my feeling. Epiphany is the 6th. Is that right? That was Insurrection Day. Yeah, but like, what happened on that 6th? Why was that day so significant? It was the day of the Transfer of Power Day, right? Am I losing my mind here? Someone, please. Well, I probably am losing my mind. That's not necessarily in dispute, but if you can illuminate this situation, I'd appreciate it. The pencil situation is starting to go downhill. The 6th is when the electoral votes are tallied and the Vice President declares the winner. Thank you, Rick. Inauguration Day is later, 20th. Fair enough. Take care, Amos. The 6th is the day Congress accepts the Electoral College votes. Alright. Well, despite all of that, I'm gonna do a stream on Monday. I'm feeling in the mood. Okay, so to vertebra or not to vertebra? So what we have is essentially, I'm just finding my shadow here, foreshadow. I think we can just maybe suggest it in a very subtle way, something like that. Now, if we fill that with tone in here, right? See what I'm saying? I think that'll be enough. All right. Now, that will be clear, and then we can go into tone in here. Kind of cheat that, get all of that into tone. Alright, what happened to the music? Who put this on? What are you doing to me? Wow. Portraiture, Adam. Can we see the reference? And where do you find them, please? Well, the references are from Grafit Studio. And if you're a member of the channel, click the join button down below. You will find a link to all the reference that we use for the streams in the community chat. So you absolutely can join along. You're very welcome to. All right. Let's do a little bit of blending. I swear Richard could be Spider-Man. It does have a Spider-Man-esque energy about it, doesn't it? Thanks, Rick. Unpose. Alright, getting there. I do believe we're close to the end on this one. Portraiture. I know for certain I'm butchering your name. I'm going to call you Adam. That's okay. Because I don't know if that's your surname or if Adam is your surname. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say Adam is your first name. Either way, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, go to the community chat. First post down, you'll see a link to the reference page and you can draw along. We've got 2 more poses to do. We've only got 10 minutes left of the stream, but never fear, Adam, because you can rewatch it. It'll be available for you to do just that, and you can draw along. Let's just get a little bit, just pull out a little bit where things got a little muddy here. And maybe we can hit that vertebra just ever so slightly. Something like that. Right? So yeah, well, a bit premature to say this maybe, but we are going to be back Monday. So this month we will have 2 extra streams, Monday the 6th and the 20th. Because why not? All right. Folks, we're pretty much done here. I think that's as good a place as any to call it. Hey Richard, what's the paper that you're using? Smooth newsprint, Felipe. I have a lot of trouble finding cheap paper that charcoal feels smooth. Smooth newsprint, I'm not sure about where you are, but here it's cheap, super cheap, and widely available. That was a fun pose. I enjoyed that one a lot. Okay, so time is a little bit against us. We are skipping pose number 4, okay? We're going to move to pose number 5. We are going to go over time-wise a little bit here, but hopefully you guys are hanging in there okay. But I'm gonna keep going. I would probably, this next one though, I'm probably gonna get down to like a 10-minute pose. And then maybe the last one we'll make like a really quick 3-minute pose or something like that, okay? So yeah. Skip number 4. I might leave it up anyways for those of you who want to draw it. But we'll be coming back to this set at some point. All right, let me reset the clock. There was actually one very similar to it, which there was kind of a coin toss between, so maybe I'll keep that other one for another session. Take care, Margot. See you next week. Have a good weekend. Thanks, Margot. Appreciate it. Okay. Looks true. Just do these warrior poses now. Bottom leg. Sacrum. Iliac crest. this leg going away from us. Now, you guys know the drill. The hair is obscuring the scapula, also her neck, the connection to the neck. I still want to understand where that is, so I'm drawing it. So this arm coming back in this direction, the scapula is going to be pushed in towards the center line. Hands sitting about here. Music got loud. Really? I have not touched the music. This model really tilts her hips. Yeah, she's great. Just really helps bring dynamics to the pose. She makes life a lot easier in that respect. Rib cage. Leg's going to be sitting in about here. This scapula is going to be sitting in about here. This arm going away from us, shortened. Elbows about here. Up to the wrist, hand, everything foreshortened obviously. We're not going to draw this monstrous tool that she's got her arm against. We can treat it like it's a stick. So I'm sitting in here. We'll tidy all this up and make it hopefully look better. We're just trying to find our endpoints right now. For 5 minutes, we need to hustle. Richard, Tanaka asks if it's a problem she can't draw a human figure without reference. If it will be difficult to improve if she continues practicing like this. Tanaka is a member of the channel. You can see the star next to her name. I have no idea why Tanaka would not be able to access the reference. I think that's maybe the point. So I don't know if Tanaka, if you can understand me, I just want to make sure that you understand where the reference is located so that you can draw along. You'll find the link in the community chat. Take care, Cookie. Cheers. And thank you, Lulu, for translating. Oh, she's using reference instead of drawing off imagination. No, that's the whole point, is we should be drawing from the reference, Tanaka. Absolutely, you should be drawing from the reference. There's a place to practice drawing from your imagination, and I would thoroughly suggest that you do that as well. You know? It gives you, drawing from your imagination will give you a chance to test what your knowledge base is, right? But like I would say, try and do both if you can, because you won't truly know how much where the gaps in your vocabulary are. Let's say you're drawing vocabulary until you try drawing from your imagination. That's the real kind of the test, right? I'd strongly recommend that you do both. Where we're at, a minute to go, minute and a half anyway. I'm going to try and stick to this being a 10. It might go over a little bit, but just in the interest of, you know. Do want to just deal with this arm a little, just so that we're not completely flaking out on it. So coming in, a tricep coming in this way and down. Same thing, forearm is coming up this way. There we go. Not perfect, but good enough. At the risk of overdoing it, I just want to say thank you, Lulu, for modding and also speaking on my behalf when I'm drawing and I can't get to every question. I really appreciate the fact that you take the time to read the chat and to interact in the way that you do. You're a solid dude, and I really appreciate your contribution to the stream. All right. I need to learn Hindi. And it scares the hell out of me, because I just feel like it's a project like of the highest order. But I would really like to learn some Hindi. And I just don't know if I'll ever get around to it. Okay. Done. Okay, let's... Oh, threading the tone is such a facet of drawing in the best possible way. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it. Tanaka, you're welcome. Here's what I'm going to recommend. Take a simple standing pose from the front 3/4 view, and just draw upper, lower torso. Just start to build out the forms. And just work your way through, and then when you get stuck, stop and say, okay, what now? What do where's the gaps in my knowledge, right? Okay, so this is where I've got to a point where I'm stuck. Why am I stuck here? What stage in the development of the drawing am I? And what do I need to focus on to improve on that? Does that make sense? Okay, so what we're going to do... It's not out of nowhere, Mila. Really, it might seem like it, but there is context to it. But no, I think I need to learn it. If I have any kind, generous Indian followers of the stream, maybe you can point me in the direction of a good resource to learn Hindi. Let me reset the clock. So we've got one more pose. We are going to do a 3-minute pose. Okay? Not messing around anymore, guys. This is what all of this has been leading up to. I'm learning Japanese by talking with ChatGPT, Richard. Lulu, that is a superb idea. I didn't think of that. Will ChatGPT teach me Hindi? There's some languages. Yeah? Must be great to learn. Alright, 3 minutes, guys. Hold on, let me reset the clock. Right, let's go. Traditional Indian dance poses would be a good stream. Yes. Absolutely. That would be fun. So Tanaka, if you're still watching, you could take a simple pose like this, right? Upper, lower torso. You start asking yourself, like, okay, how do I subdivide this? Upper, lower torso. Do I understand, like, without the reference in front of me, you know, do I understand, like, my aces is here, coming down this way, find my center line, arch of the rib cage, right, and so on and so forth, and just kind of go through methodically and just ask yourself, okay, what's going on here? Clavicle coming up to the humerus here, head of the humerus. This arm's coming down this way. So on and so forth. Knee is here, right? We've got foreshortening on this upper leg. And then as you get more comfortable improvising, drawing from your imagination, the more complex the poses can be. And once again, that can be done incrementally too. It's like, okay, I'm just going to add a bit of foreshortening, then I'm going to add a bit more and a bit more, and etc. got to ask Tosh, because I've been spamming a lot of your videos lately. Did you do gesture drawings at the beginning of your journey? Do they help? Yeah, look, I do gesture a lot. I still do gesture a lot. Gesture is... I've got a whole diatribe about gesture, Tosh, but in my opinion, gesture is, into many ways, it is the final stage of development. And in many ways, it's the purest form of expression when it comes to figure drawing. And in many ways, it's the hardest stage, or the hardest skill to develop, because I think you've got to do gesture well. You've really got to understand grammar, drawing grammar. So it's kind of ironic that it's also the first stage of a drawing, because it's, in my opinion, the hardest stage of the drawing to do well, unlike what I'm doing here right now. Because talking and drawing is tricky at the best of times, but when it's a 3-minute pose, you know. But yes, there's a huge importance and a place for gesture in your drawing. In saying that, I would also strongly encourage people to stay away from poses shorter than 3 minutes. Because I think below 3 minutes, well, most people are just going to create noise. I always consider gesture to be like poetry. It's the removal of words to saying the most with the least amount, right? And you're not going to be able to be strong with something like a discipline like poetry until you have a real solid command of the language and sentence structure and how to use words. Oh, we're at 5 minutes. Okay, see, I thought that was 3. Tanaka, let me give you a little demo as you're still with us. I'm going to just do a quick drawing from the imagination, okay? Real quick. Nothing too fancy. But I'm just going to show you what a quick 5-minute warm-up drawing from your imagination could look like. So, upper torso, lower torso, right? Just drawing something we've drawn 1,000 times. Center line, okay? Neck, manubrium, clavicle, coming out this way and this way. Arch of the rib cage. Rib cage is going to be sitting about here. Aces, iliac crest coming around this way, inguinal ligament coming down like so. Center line, halfway between the bottom of the rib cage and the top of the iliac crest. Navel, going to be sitting about here, coming down like so. Right? Head of the humerus. Maybe this arm is doing something like that. Maybe this one is going up this way. Okay? 2/3 of the way along the clavicle, the deltoid, shoulder muscle, coming down like so. Right? Pectoral muscle attached at the 5th and the 6th rib, coming across the ribs here, sitting in here. Right? On this side, coming across. Pectoral muscles doing something like that, right? Deltoid sitting on top, sitting here, and kind of sitting in here. Tricep is going to be hanging like a hammock, sitting in there, right? Something like that. Sternocleidomastoid coming up this way, sitting behind the ear, right? Jaw is going to be sitting in front. Trapezius coming down this way. right? Coming down. Latissimus sitting in here, coming down, meeting up with the rib cage, then coming down to the oblique. We've talked about this 1,000 times. Oblique's going to be sitting in this region in here, right? Okay, triceps sitting on this side. Brachioradialis. Tensor fasciae latae coming off here. Gluteus medius sitting in here. Gluteus maximus behind. Right? And you can just go on and on until you get to the point where you get stuck. Right? And maybe at here you're like, oh, I'm not sure what this looks like. Okay, now you know where to stop for a minute. Ask yourself a question about the anatomy. Right? Okay, I'm not sure where the deltoid is. Well, actually, the deltoid, believe it or not, when you remove the skin, it comes pretty much down to where the pectoral muscle attaches down here. Okay, so now I've learned something, right? Serratus coming around this way, right? So on and so forth. And you can do 1,000 of these. Do the same for the back view, right? Do it over and over and over. And if you do this enough, well, as I said, you'll start to come to a couple of conclusions of where are my strengths, where are my weaknesses, and what do I need to study. Okay. So have you said that about gesture? There's me there, the feeling I didn't understand. I truly believe that gesture is the last stage of development. Be kind to yourself with it. I think it's worth, even though I think it's the last stage of development, I think it's certainly worth practicing on the regular, right? 3-5 minute poses are a great place for gesture. Even a 10-minute pose can still be gesture in its statement. But take care, Patrick. See you Monday. Yes, Monday we're going to do the extra stream. But I think it's important to understand that gesture is first part, it's the first stage of the drawing, and ironically the hardest part. But practice it. It's gonna make you understand a lot about grammar, drawing grammar and sentence structure, right? But remember, and I mean this, and this is really important, in my opinion, is you have to be able to draw complicated before you can draw simple. Gesture is the removal of noise. How can I say something directly with as little as possible? Like poetry, right? You can only get that with experience and with time. Guys, it's been a fun stream, right? I think so. We've done some lovely poses. Hopefully the lag kind of corrected itself. I'll have to go back and check. Apologies for that if it did not. Luckily, I believe the audio was okay, so hopefully that made it watchable. But yeah, guys, we will come back. We'll be back Monday at the usual time, 5 p.m. London time, GMT. And I really do hope that you'll be able to join me. I'm not sure quite what we'll do, whether we'll do some figure drawing, maybe we'll do some clothed drawing, some drapery. That could be a bit of fun. The lag went away real quick. All is well. Fantastic. Great to hear. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Once again, a happy new year to all of you. I firmly believe 2025 is going to be a great year. And so let's do all we can to will it in that direction. Guys, have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you all, hopefully, if you can make it, I'll see you Monday. All right, guys, cheers, take care, bye.